It is preview season here on Armchair Analysis, and today it is all about the Indiana Hoosiers. And I'm working on some things here. Of course, we are in the new house, so still working on some things. Work in progress studio right now, but we've got plenty to talk about here. It is all about the Indiana Hoosiers, as I said earlier, and we got a fun video in store. So thank y'all for tuning in, first off, and yeah, I mean, just really pumped. The previous season has been a blast, and unfortunately, just with this move in the middle of everything, it's kind of thrown off our chances to get things done the way we'd like to. Certainly, staying consistent has been difficult at times, but we're working on it. We're getting there, and I just thank y'all for tuning in again. This has been a lot of fun to do, and I'm just really pumped to get going. So, I thank y'all again for tuning in, and let's go ahead and talk about this Indiana team in 2025. And this is a team that last year was, of course, the darlings of college football. They went to the college football playoff, went 11-2, 8-1 in Big Ten play, missed out on the Big Ten championship game due to a tiebreaker with Penn State. The Penn State obviously went on to go to the Big Ten championship, and they were again last year's surprise. They were second in college football in points per game, 41.3 points per game last year. Averaged or allowed only 15.6 points per game on average defensively, sixth in college football. They were sixth in turnover margin per game at +1. They pulled in a 49th ranked recruiting class and a 25th ranked portal class with 23 commitments. They did a lot of things to address and fulfill needs and concerns after last year's, again, really good season of 11-2. Of course, Kurt Cignetti comes back. Mike Shanahan's back as the offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator Bryant Haynes looking to step up and continue what was really good last year. This team, of course, lost Tino Sunseri off the coaching staff. Now at UCLA as the offensive coordinator. They're looking to kind of see what things look like, but they're excited. Of course, they bring in Fernando Mendoza from Cal. They're pumped about what he can do. He brings an element of mobility to this game or to this offense that Curtis Rourke, due to his injury last year, the ACL, torn ACL that he was playing on, couldn't really add that addition, that running game to his arsenal, or couldn't utilize it to the extent he did at Ohio. So Fernando Mendoza is a guy they're excited about. They're, of course, pumped for Roman Hemby to come in, and he's going to be at running back, probably the number one back on this team. They're excited to see what he'll do. Lee Beebe Jr. is expected to be running back number 2. We'll see how much he's in the game. I assume a good amount, but again, this is kind of the Roman Hemby show. I expect to see him get probably 60+% of carries, if I were to guess. At wide receiver, they got Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr. coming back. E.J. Williams comes back. Mekhi Jackson's a guy they're looking for, a senior coming back again. But the biggest thing in the wide receiver room is losing Tyler Morris earlier in the spring to a torn ACL. He is expected to be out for the season. That really hinders this offense, at least in a sense, the passing game. Tyler Morris was a guy they were expecting to come in and kind of be their jet sweep guy, be the guy who, they can take some attention off of Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen this year. So what can they do? How can they adjust and play differently, play better? Question to be answered for that team. They bring in Holden Stays at tight end from Tennessee. They're excited for Holden Stays, want to see really what he brings to the table. Didn't get the run I think that he was expecting at Tennessee. Left, moved on, and now is a part of this team, or now is a part of this Indiana team who's looking to make another run at the playoff. The offensive line graded really well last year according to PFF, and they bring back 3 of 5 returning starters, or 3 of 5 starters from last year. Pat Coogan joins this staff, or joins this offensive line. He'll be the center this year coming over from Notre Dame. Pass blocking grade was 23rd at 73.9. They graded 9th in run blocking, 75.5 run block grade. Again, those grades come from PFF or Pro Football Focus. When we look at the defense, this team returns 4 starters. They gave up 4.2 yards per play last year. That was 3rd in college football. They bring in Stephen Daly, a defensive end from Kent State. They're excited to see what he'll do on the D-line, kind of added in. Some places have him as a backup, some places have him as a starter. I don't really know where he's going to be on the depth chart, but I think he's going to get a considerable amount of playing time. Jose Wheeler comes over from Western Kentucky. He'll be a defensive tackle. He is projected to start on multiple different sites that I've been able to use. Safety Lewis Moore comes over from Ole Miss. He's a guy that they're looking forward to seeing in the secondary himself. And then they bring back Devin Boykin, who's going to play the nickel position, coming in from NC State. On top of that, you bring back guys like Aiden Fisher, who had 118 tackles last year. Mikhail Kamara brings back 15 tackles for loss, 10 sacks. Amari Farrell had 4 interceptions, and they had multiple players with 2 fumbles forced. This team forced 27 or created 27 turnover opportunities between forced fumbles and interceptions. This is a team that is very opportunistic, and they're looking to continue that here in 2025. Names to watch is really just a position group to watch. It's wide receivers. I can't say that enough. I need to see who's going to be wide receiver 3, especially with Tyler Morris out. That's the biggest thing. Already mentioned, I don't want to dive too much deeper into it, but that is certainly a position of concern, I think, because if you lose Omar Cooper or Elijah Surratt, which we don't hope for injuries, we don't want to project things with injuries, but they do happen. They're a part of the game, and unfortunately, that could derail a season for this Indiana team in 2025. So I think that those are some things that we need to look for. So with that said, let's go ahead and pull up the schedule. And as we take a look at that schedule here, I mean, you'll notice that it's workable, very workable, as a matter of fact. I'll fix this camera a little bit. I don't want you guys staring at I don't want crotch shots on here, but no, we'll get it figured out. I got to get everything back around. There is no ceiling, so there's going to be insulation. That's part of life. Anyways, this is a workable schedule. Again, they get road trips that I did not fix, some of them, but they do take a road trip to Oregon and Penn State. Give me just a second. I don't know why I say give me a second. I said you guys are going to be here for that second. Anyways, schedule's fixed. At Iowa, at Oregon, at Maryland, Penn State, and Purdue, all 5 of their road trips this season. Illinois at home is a big deal. Wisconsin at home is a big deal just because Camp Randall's tough, and UCLA, Michigan State, similarly tougher environments. So, with that said, let's go ahead and predict this 12-game season, 12-game schedule. Keeping in mind what you see at the bottom of the screen there, your bottom right. Over under 8.5, plus 4,100 to win the Big Ten, plus 12,000 to win the national championship. And they're going to start 3-0. I'm not even going to waste my time. They're going to beat Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State before they play their first Big Ten game against Illinois. I think they'll take on that one, get a win there. I think they're just going to be better than the Fighting Illini, especially at home in Bloomington. They'll follow that up with a road trip to Kinnick Stadium, and certainly this is a place to drop one, but I think that Curt Cignetti is going to have them ready to go, knowing what is capable of happening in Kinnick Stadium. They'll get the win there. They'll come out of the bye week facing Oregon on the road, and I think that's where they're going to take loss number 1. I think Oregon's just too talented, too powerful. They'll move the ball pretty well, and again, knock off Indiana for their first loss of the season. Come back with a win over Michigan State, a win over UCLA, and they'll beat Maryland as well, going into a road trip to Happy Valley facing Penn State on November 8th. And I think, again, it's going to come down to just experience, especially experience for Penn State, but also just being flat out better. I think Penn State gets the win. Giving Indiana loss number 2. They come back with a home game against Wisconsin. They'll win that one, and a bye week before a Friday night showdown in Ross-Ade Stadium. Certainly upset potential here. I think this game has potential for it. I'm not predicting it, though. I'm taking Indiana to go 10-2, 7-2 in Big Ten play. I know this is a shorter video, but this team has really been talked about a lot over the course of the offseason or non-playing season, recruiting season, whatever you want to call parts of the year. This team's been talked about a lot, and people are certainly expecting them to do more of the same of what they did last year. Now, the difference is I don't have somebody that I go back and forth and talk to about all of these teams. I just kind of go through, look at what I see, and talk about it. And this is a team that I think can make it back to the college football playoff. Now, they are going to need to win a game against Oregon or Penn State. I don't think they can do it without winning one of those two. They need 11-1 to make it to the playoff. This team and this schedule reminds me a lot of Missouri last year, where Missouri was in a position where if they went 10-2, it wasn't going to be good enough. They had to be 11-1 or even undefeated to really make the playoff. This is where Indiana's at right now. Their strength of schedule is just not there, and it's certainly not helped by the fact that they've canceled multiple home and home series. They just canceled one recently, and it's kind of taken the spotlight a little bit from what this team could be or should be. They're capable, and they're certainly a team that could win 11 football games. I mean, they can certainly get an upset on the road somewhere against Oregon or Penn State. Will they? Time will tell, because again, I don't know. I just spout my opinion on the internet and have fun with it. So, yeah, y'all let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there was something I missed in this video. I know it's a little shorter, and I apologize for that. But sometimes when you're a little more prepared and kind of feel like you don't have a whole lot to explain because this team is just what you see is what you get, that's kind of where we stand right now. So, thank you all for tuning in so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully, y'all had a good or having a good week so far. Again, I apologize for the inconsistencies with uploads. Tomorrow we have a double upload coming. It'll be Texas and Clemson tomorrow. So two teams that certainly have playoff contenders. Two teams that met last year in the college football playoff. We'll be talking about them two tomorrow, along with Oregon on Thursday, Notre Dame on Friday, and closing it out on Saturday, August 9th with the Ohio State Buckeyes, the defending national champions. We'll talk about all of them coming up in the coming days, and then, of course, we got conference previews, college football playoff predictions. My favorite segment that I do all year is a college football road trip, where I give you guys my pick for every week of the college football season, what game I would go to, or games in some cases, that I would go to if given the choice. I have a lot of fun with that every year. It's going to be coming back again, as we always do. And we got a handful more to do as well, of course, leading up to week 0 and week 1. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers by week 0. I think we can do that. We're still we're over 2 weeks away from that, and I'm excited for week 0. Of course, we got a couple of good games that day. So we're trying to hit 200. I'd appreciate it if you guys can help us get there. We're at 164 right now as I record this video. So, again, leave a like if you're new, subscribe, comment down below. Make sure you stick around. We got plenty more content. Again, this background is temporary for now. We're just moved in, getting stuff sorted out. So, as time goes on, things are going to change in the back behind me. But for now, that's where we stand. I thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow with the Texas Longhorns preview.